Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana. Man, I did the whitefish for 9 years. It's gonna take me a little while, I guess, to get over that and to get back to, or get to saying Kalispell without thinking. If I just go into rote, whitefish comes out every time. Goodness gracious. All right, it is Tuesday. It is time for Check This Out live. And we are going to check out a brand new kit. It's one of August's brand new kits. Just got it in the mail the other day. I did have to, or yesterday, I did have to open up the box to get this kit out. And then later today, I will do the unboxing where you can see everything else that was in the box, plus one that I got on Saturday that I had to break open too for something. I can't remember what I took out now, but we won't worry about that. It still has some great Christmas goodies in it. And then this one has some of when I ordered for the paper sale, because right now is a paper sale. You know what? Hold on. I'm doing a newsletter today and I just remembered the paper sale. It's all month long, so get it while you can. 15% off of select two-tone and cardstock and DSP. And I'll show you this afternoon what's in my box. So let's go ahead and crack open this new kit, brand spanking new. All right, and it is an all-inclusive kit, which means everything comes in the kit. Oh, I forgot one thing. I need this. I'll show you what that is if you didn't happen to see it in a little bit. So I'm excited to open this up. Are you? It's one of our new ones, and it is a non-stamping kit. Woo. So nice and easy. Look at that. It helps if I have it the right way around, right? So Crafted Blooms kit. There are these three essentially card fronts in there. We've had one other one like this. It had the moths on it, or it had the moths. And then this was one of them. And this one I kept for myself, and I kept it on this little board, and I gave my mom the one with the big moth on it because she loves moths. I kept this one because What If All Goes Right is a good reminder to me to not fear success or failure. And so I wanted to make sure that I had this as a reminder behind me. And then I sent the one that had the flowers that said "You Are Loved" with one of the other larger clipboard to my friend Missy. So yes, these are the same kind of thing where it's a card front, and there are 3 of them. And I'm excited to put them together with you because these are so cool. They're so pretty. I love it. All right, so Crafted Blooms kits. There are 3. They fit on the boards, on the clipboards. You can change them out, interchangeable for whichever one fits you or feels right for you. So like this What If It All Goes Right feels like the thing I need a reminder. So we have these 3, and then we have our instruction. Whoo, look at all those flowers. That's gonna take some time, but looks like we have plenty of adhesive. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and get those all organized. We have lots of glue dots. For the purpose of time today, I am going to use my green glue. All right, so that's my backup. Instead of using all these little mini dots, I'm going to use my green glue because that will make it go just a smidge faster. Hopefully it doesn't prove me a liar. All right, and then we have this in the different languages. So we have German and French, which I don't need right now. I send those to my French and German friends, and then when we have each other, we have everything. This is card 3. We'll put that over here. We have all these leaves we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for card 1. You know what? Let's find the card bases. Let's do that. This goes with card 1. let's find all the card bases or the card fronts. We have this one. We have this one, and we have this one. All right, here we go. That way we can be laying stuff on there. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. So this one goes with 3. We'll pull out this is home is a feeling. That's a really nice one. Can you be at home anywhere, or is home a specific house? For me, as long as I have my family, it's home, wherever I am. And then we have the welcome. And then we have the leaves. So we need 5, we said, for this first one. All right. So I also asked you a question on my 30-minute reminder. Are you a follow the kit directions crafter, or does your brain immediately start thinking, ooh, what else can I make with this? All right, tell me, what kind of crafter are you when it comes to these kits? Mainly is, ooh, what else can I craft? Or nope, I want to make this exactly as they have designed it. For me, it just depends. You know, for kits, I tend to just do as they designed it. And then for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for paper pumpkins, I do it as designed. But then I'm like, ooh, what else could I do with this? So it just kind of depends. I challenge myself to do the what else. Otherwise, I get stuck in the same routine of just making the cards as designed. So that's why I like to do the paper pumpkin and have started doing some of that with these as well. If you saw last week's Check This Out live, you saw that I took the birthday kit, can't remember the exact name. It was a kit collection one, and I made alternates with it for you, just to show you that it's not just paper pumpkin that you can make alternates out of. So that's a fun thing. All right, here we go. Those are all gone. All right, so then we go to this one. We need 2 of these. Ooh, those are a little trickier. All right, and then I asked you also a question here above or down below, depending on whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. I asked you if you decorate your home with things you've created. All right, do you decorate your home with things you've created, or do your handmade projects usually get given away or stashed somewhere? What do you do with the things you make? Now, for me personally, I find that if it's paper, like my scrapbooks, I can keep those forever because they're protected, right? And if it's other things like this, I'm not typically a paper decorator because they get dusty, they get faded, then I have to throw it away. So it just kind of depends on what it is. I do have some things that I made from paper for Christmas, where it's like paper and wood kinds of things together. And so those I've used, because Christmas decorations, sometimes you do trade those out, right? You change those out a bit. Let's see. This one goes here. And then this one goes here. So I'm just curious what your response is, because even though I'm a paper crafter, I don't necessarily, and you see me make decoration things, I don't necessarily have them out and decorated around my house. So I need one of those here. And then one of these here. And these are a little trickier because they have all those little spikes. And one of those there. All right, and then we have all these little daisy things. So there's 5 over here. 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we have on this one 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 5 on the last one, and then we'll have used this up. So it doesn't look like there's really anything extra. But if you wanted to, say, change the sentiments, you could flip these over. If you wanted to be able to have them interchangeable, you could take the other languages and flip them over. That way you have the language one as well, and you could flip this over. Or you could flip these over. So those are an option for you as well. All right, so here we have these flowers. So card 2 gets 3 of these. These are now a little bit bigger, so they're a little quicker to pop out. So there's 3 here, and then there's 2. Ooh, I did not realize, I didn't think about it, that there were so many of these. All right, so then this one, these go here on card 3, and then 2 of these go on card 1, and 2 of them go on card 3. Wowza. There's a lot. All right, can we name the colors? Can you name the colors? So we have Petal Pink. I'm going to guess this is Calypso Coral. This is probably Strawberry Slush. So we'll have to see whether I'm right. We'll have to see whether I'm right. Let's see. So we have Calypso Coral, Cloud Cover, that's the blue, Crumb Cake, Golden Glow, we haven't gotten to any yellow yet, Old Olive, that's the leaves, Peaceful Pine, we haven't gotten to that yet, Pecan Pie, we haven't gotten to that yet, Petal Pink, I was right on those, Secret Sea, and Strawberry Slush. So the colors I did name, I was correct, yay. Here is our Peaceful Pine. All right, let's see. Oh, the Secret Sea is probably the Sentiments. Lots of in colors. All right, so there's 1. Let's see. 2. And 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the others. So there's these 5. These are a little tricky and intricate, but they're not going too slow. Here we go. 2. Let's see. 3. 3, 4, and 5. Sorry that you're having to sit here and watch me. If you're watching the replay, feel free to scroll ahead until I'm actually making the cards. I did not realize, I didn't think about the fact that, oops, that all of this stuff would have to be popped out. I forget that part of things. Otherwise, I might have cracked it open and already had this part done for you. Yeah, it didn't even cross my brain. So I'll have to think about that in the future if there's a lot to pop out, which pretty much this whole thing was all pop outs. Maybe I'll jump into the box a little bit before you so that you don't have to sit here and watch me. All right, so these, I'm looking at all this stuff and thinking, how is this all going to fit on these? 2, 3. All right, and then here's our golden glow. So there's going to be 2 of each of these. Now, I think when it's all put together, they're going to be absolutely gorgeous. But there is definitely a lot to pop out. And I'm thinking like on this one, goodness, how is it all going to fit? But we know that we've got some layering coming up, which is why we have all the glue dots. Here we go. 1. And why I'm going to use my liquid glue to save time so that you are not sitting here watching me do all those glue dots. Yeah, no, you don't want to watch me sit here and mess with glue dots. So we're going to, let's see, we have 2 of those. And then we have 2 of those over here. And 2 of those over here. All right, so we have another sheet just like that. So we have our other 2 of those and 2 of these. And then we have these blue stars. So this one needed 4 of those. And this one needed 4 of those. And then we have this one, which needed to go there. And we had more stars, so we needed gold stars over here. Woo-wee! And then 2, 2, and 2. And then this one went over here. And these, the last ones, I promise. Feel free to fast forward through this if you are watching it on the replay, because I had no idea. There we go. Whew. All right, we're ready. That was a lot of popping apart. All right, so let's get into our woo-wee. Okay, it might be a good thing we're doing this together because I don't want any of you all to get confused or frustrated. All right, so right here, it's showing a square and then some rolling. So what it is it's taking this and your flowers and it wants you to curl them, okay? Because these aren't going into envelopes, right? So it's wanting you to curl it. Now, you've seen me do it before. You can either do it with this or you can even do it with your thumbnail if you have a thumbnail, okay? So you can see it curls it about the same. Not exactly the same, but pretty close. Just depends on what you want. So use what you have. If you have a bone folder, you can use it. If you have a thumbnail, you can use it. All right, either way, it's curling them up. So just to help, I'm going to go ahead and use this because you see me use my thumb more than anything else. So this is a great place to use this part of your bone folder. All right, so we're curling everything up. And we're just using that side part of the point. All right, so everything is getting curled. And on these, you're just kind of curling the tips. Okay, just to help make everything pop and not seem so flat. So it just seems more alive because it's not going into an envelope, it's going on one of the clipboards. So this will help it be less papery feeling and more alive feeling because it's not just laying flat. All right, so we're just curling everything up. You're pulling from the inside out and curling it all in. Okay. And again, you can use your thumbnail if you prefer. All right. There we go. Making sure your leaves, the spines or the veins of your leaf are going to the top. That's how you know which one is top or bottom. All right, so then we've got all that done. And now we're going to do some glue dotting. All right. So, except like I told you, we're not going to I'm going to use actual dots of glue. So make sure you have your back side. Here's your back side. Let's see. All right, we're going to start with these. And then these. I'm following in here the order of things. All right. And then these two go here. So I'm laying it out like they have here so I know where my glue dots go. Except again, we're not using glue dots. Doing this one. And then these two. All right. We have this one here. We have all of these. Like this. And then we have these two. All right. So these go together. So these two, and then those two, and then those three. So they're kind of pinwheely. So we're going to start off with that. Let me make sure it's ready to go, ready to glue. Here we go. We're going to do a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, and then a dot here, and a dot here. And I would think one would not need a dot. We're just going to start with that. Okay, that seems like a small dot. So we're going to just kind of spread it out a little. Okay, so these are going to cross over this way. All right, like that. And then you're going to do this one like that. And then cross it over this way like that. And then this one goes in the middle like that. And then we have this one in the middle of that. And then we have this one where we didn't need the glue on top. And we're going to kind of make the spikies go the other way. Oop, that one turned. All right, I need my glasses so that they're a little clearer. There we go. And now you can just kind of press on the center and hold it there. All right, so here is flower one. All right, so see how the stars, everything is, oop. Well, that one is what it is. They're stuck down now. All right, let's do the next one. Are these two. So we're going to do a glue dot there. See, now, aren't you glad I'm not doing the adhesive glue dots? That would be crazy right now. That would just take forever. So we're going to cross these over. Then we're going to take, glad I have nails at the moment. Take one of those. And then again, we're going to turn this one a little bit so that the points are coming out of the other points. All right, then hold it down for a minute, like that. And then we have these. So it'll be this one. All right, and again, we're going to cross them so that the petals are filling in the gaps. And then we're going to use, and I'm just going to curl those a little bit with my fingernail. All right, we're going to set those aside to dry for a moment. All right, and we're going to set those aside. Those will get glue on them as we put them on the page. I didn't want to put glue on them quite yet. So then we have glue on the back of this one. Instead of using the glue dots again, I'm using this. And it's going to go onto our card front all the way up to the top. Here we go. So to make sure I got it on the edge, I'm gonna just kind of use my glass mat. All right, and this gets dimensionals. I'm just gonna go ahead and use what I've got right here. So we're gonna put some dimensionals all the way across. So 6 of them. Here we go. So what do you think? Is this something you would make and use in your house? I like the sentiments, so that might be something that I change out. And then of course you'll need to get the boards, of course. So this one is going to go here, and it's going, let's see, it's going right here, across there. All right. And now we're going to layer in some leaves. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's our 5th leaf? Did I give one too many over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did. All right, I gave number 2 one. Well, one had slipped off. So we're going to put adhesive. They have it on the front. I'm going to put it, because I'm putting it down here, I'm going to put the adhesive on the back because I'm not sticking it to this. So we have one going this way, and it's okay if it comes off a little bit, okay? So we have that one. And then we have another one right here. And then we have another one over here. And then we have this one. I'm just putting the glue up the center. like that. Okay, those to me are a little bit curled, a little too curled for my taste. So if you feel the same, you can kind of uncurl them with your fingernail. Okay, there's that. And then we're going to take our big flower. We're going to stick it right here. So I'm just going to put glue on the back here like that. Does not show dimensionals. I'm thinking that would just bump it up way too high. So there we go. There's that one. And then we have one of these little ones that I'm going to actually use a mini dimensional on. Because it goes right here. All right, let's see. Where else? And then we have the other two leaves on the bottom. And we have another little flower here. Oh, and we have another little flower here. So I'm going to use my mini dimensionals for these, even though it called for the glue dots, but that's okay because we can change things up. We don't have to have it exactly. All right, and this one goes right there. And then we're going to put these two leaves, and yeah, they're kind of curled up. I think I went a little crazy with the curling. All right, so we're going to do this one here, and it's going to come off. And we're going to do this one here. All right, and then we have this one with the glue up the center there. And it's going to go here in the center again. And we have another one over here that's going to come out here this way. Okay. Then we're putting our yellow golden glow one down here like this. And then the pink one, no, the pink one is off. Like that. There we go. And then we have some more of these that I will put on the dimensionals. And I don't know, I'm using my nails today. Normally I would use my take pick tool because that's way faster and easier. But today I seem to just be, whew, don't stick together, on a, there we go. Oh, just threw that one around. Oh, I was supposed to have white here. I didn't leave enough white space there for that. So we're going to put one here, one over here, and we'll just tuck one over here. All right, because there was supposed to be more white space here for it. But there you go. What do you think? Home is a feeling. It is. It is. For me, home is where my heart is. So wherever my husband and son are, wherever my family is, that's home. All right, so there is card 1. Wow. All right, let's do card 2. And you know, if you have green glue, I highly recommend the green glue for this because this is way faster. way faster than the glue dots. All right, so now we have this one. Oh my goodness. So this card front is 5 1/4 by 7 and would fit on one of the large clipboards. So we have I can't remember if it's one large clipboard and two small ones, or if it's two large clipboards and one small one. I'm thinking that it's two large and one small because there's two large and one small, but I don't remember, so don't quote me on that. So that one is 5 1/4 by 7, and this one is 4 1/4 by 6. So you could cut it down and turn it into a card front if you wanted to, or it would go perfectly on here. So let's see what that looks like. All right, we're going to set these two aside for the moment. We have some more curling to do. Oh, they even want us to do, now I'm going to do a lot less curling than I did on the other one. So just lightly, and I'm going to do it like this. So it curls up over here and down a little bit over here because it's going across the flowers. All right, so I'm going to make it like it's a banner across the flowers. All right, so we're going to curl these, but I'm going to curl them a little less than I did before. That's where I kind of like my thumb, because I can do a lot less. So with my thumb than with the bone folder. All right, so just a little bit this time, not quite so much curling as I did before, because that one was kind of over curled. This is a little over curled for my taste, but I mean, it's really pretty. It still works, but I'm going to see if I can do this one just a little bit less than that one. Maybe not pull all the way from the center. So it's still curled. It's just not as curled. All right. I don't know. This makes one, all these, they have as one flower. So 6 pieces make the one flower. We'll have to see how that looks. I might have to get another kit and do some alternates. Whew, it's getting toasty in here. I'm going to turn down that. I don't know if I did that right. I've got the remote, but I don't know how to use the remote. Do you ever do that? You like grab the remote and you use it, and then you're like, oh, I'm not really sure how that works over on the real thing. But I certainly don't want to leave the camera to go turn the AC temp down. But I'm toasty, getting toasty in here. I know you're used to me usually freezing in my studio, and now it's toasty because it's the hottest room in the house, because it's the highest room in the house, and hot air rises, right? Crazy how that happens. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing from, instead of from the base of the flower petal, I'm doing kind of from the middle of the flower petal. And I think one of the reasons I like using my thumb is because sometimes you end up getting a little bit of a crease. So let's see how it works with my thumbnail. See, it's giving it just a little bit, but not really a crease because it's smooth, but it's curling it just a little bit. Yeah, so if you've got a thumbnail, even if it's not that long, it doesn't have to be super long, but just a little bit of an edge to it. Like I probably couldn't do it with this one because it got cut too short. Not cut, it tore too short. But if you just kind of pull that in, there we go. Whew, all of them. Yeah, folks, fast forward. That's what I would recommend if you're watching on the replay. Fast forward, because June did not know that I was going to be punching out and curling so many pieces. That's what happens, though, when you crack open the kit live and you have not previewed it close enough to know what's going on. So here we go. Almost done. Almost done. These strawberry slush ones are the last ones. Whew. Let's see. All right, that's the last of those. This is going to get dimensionals. I'm just going to use my big ones because that's what I have right here. One on each end because they're going across the flowers, and then we'll set this aside. We're going to build our flowers now. So we're going to start with this one. It uses that, this, and 2 blues. So we're going to move these around like that. Put those, that. Oh, nope, and these. Big flowers, get those. There we go. All right, so we're going to build this flower first. Whew, it's a doozy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're graduating sizes, obviously. So we're going to glue this one like that so that it is, I'm just going to put the glue here. Like that. All right, and then we're just gonna keep layering and turning it as we go. So we'll turn this one, and then this one will go. And it's just gonna have, it's gonna kind of be like those flowers that have all those layers of petals. All right. And then later we can pull them up a little bit more if we want to. Here we go. And just keep turning it. This is going to be a thick one. I don't know that you'd put this in a card. All right, but because they're getting gradually smaller, they're thick, but as they're getting gradually smaller, you can see them all. If they were all the same size, you wouldn't be able to see them. All right, so then we're going to do this one going that way, and this one turning. So it's like that. Oh, hold on. Why does that not look right? There we go. Oh, no, that's still off. Well, not sure why. All right, so then we have our yellow one, our golden glow in the center there. And then we have our cloud cover starburst for in the center here. And then the other cloud cover starburst. Remember, we're going to turn it. We're going to shift it like we did those white ones. There we go. All right, and then of course you could get your Wink Estella out and you could totally wink all of these. Look, that one's almost empty. Where's my Wink Estella? Here we go. You could totally wink all of these and it would look fabulous. All right, so what I'll probably do is take a picture of them unwinked, as I call it, and then take a picture of them after I Wink Estella them and show you the difference, and that way you'll know if that's something you wanted to do. All right, so the next one is our yellow flower with this, and we want to turn it. There we go. All right, and then this one Goes in the center there. There we go. And then we have our strawberry slush petals. So we have this one, and that one. So I want to turn that like that. Maybe not quite so far since there's a third one. And then we're going to do this one. There we go, like that. Just makes the flowers fuller is what my idea is. Just makes them fuller. So here we have our Golden Glow Starburst center, and then we'll put the Golden Glow or the glue on here, and again we're going to just shift it a little bit. So that's how everything gets seen, is you just shift it. All right, you just shift it over. Sometimes they overlap, so it depends. I guess there might be a specific shift that you need to do. All right, here we go. We're going to do this one. And again, like that. And then we'll do this one. Like that. And how do I only have one of those here? Two. Oh, one fell off. That's why. All right. So here we go. And then we're going to shift it. There we go. That one worked better. All right. Whew. Those are all built. All right. Now we got to build this part. We got to build our little leafy areas on our card front. Okay. So we're going to take one of these, and one of these. And these looks like we're going to be sticking these down instead of having them popped up. So we're going to put one of these here, like this. A little bit off the top is okay. We're going to put one of these here, like that. And then we're having a little flower over here. All right. And then we're going to, here we go. We're going to do two leaves over here, like that. And another one like this. All right. Then we're going to have one of these Peaceful Pine ones coming up here. And another one out this way. And then we have another one of our little flowers, which now I kind of wish I had put up on dimensionals, but that's okay. And then we have our other two leaves, our old olive leaves down here. And over here. And then our Peaceful Pine ones. Love this color. One of my absolute new favorites. Like this. And like this. And another flower over here. And another flower over here. And it looks like another one over here. Now, crossing my fingers I don't regret where I just put those, just in case my leaves aren't quite in the right place. But let's build it. So we're going to put this one goes over here. This one, come on, it's starting to get stuck. All right, this one goes over here. This one will go right here. And this one goes right here. I love it. And I did not have them in the wrong places. My white ones are still all showing this time. And then this is going to come across over here. Let's see. That one. This one feels like it needs to go down a little bit. Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on up there. Oh, all right. There we go. That one and that one. All right. Ooh, what do you think? That turned out really pretty, big and thick, but it turned out really pretty because the sizes were graduating, so it just gives you lots of petals. Lots of petals. That one's pretty. And so now this one, you could put on here like this. All right, so that's the beauty of it, is you can put it on here. So I'm just keeping this one on right now because this message is a message that I need. Ah. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to get it centered again. There we go. All right, third one. OMG. We are doing it. All right, this is going to have dimensionals all over it. So let's go ahead and do that now, because it's going to be going on before everything else anyway. And it requires quite a few because it is big. All right, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and put this on there, since we know it goes on first anyways. So here we go. It is going to be centered. Now, if you were to want to cut this down, that would take a little bit more out of it. That oval, let me just grab one of the other ones. That oval itself is the size of a card. It's 5.5 by 4 1/8. So that would be the whole card. So you wouldn't be able to do a whole lot with this. You could cut it out like that to make it a card if you wanted to. So there's lots that you could still do. All right, so we're going to curl these again. Except this time I'm just using my thumbnail, because I find it a little bit quicker and it's not as curled. You saw the difference between the other one and the first and second one. One was, the second one I thumb curled, and the first one I bone folder curled. So big difference between the two. It can also be, you know, dependent on where you grab it from, whether you grab it from the base of the petal or leaf, or whether you grab it just from halfway up. Just kind of what I do here. There we go. Hiya, Benji. Benji's just rubbing on my legs right now and taking off. I think she thinks it's food time. It's almost lunchtime. They usually get breakfast and second breakfast. Today it's going to be lunch. I have my son home for a 2-week visit. I have my nephew here for a 2.5-week visit. So trying to do as many family meals as possible for the duration. I'm cooking more than I normally cook. My husband's not unhappy about that. Do you cook every night? Do you do a lot of leftovers after you cook? Do you like cook a bunch and then do like leftover smorgasbord? That's what we tend to do. Or do you just in the summer do like cool, easy things? In the summers, Mom and I like to just do what we call our little mini charcuterie boards, but we call them fresh plates because they just have fresh stuff on it. So yeah, we're not doing those for a while. Not until everyone leaves, I'm sure. All right, let's get to building. We'll start with these two, this flower and these two. All right, so again, my little glue in the center. Turn it. Glue in the center of my star. Like that. And then glue on this one. Turn it so that it is a starburst. All right, that's flower 1. Let's move on to flower 2. Like that. This time there's only 2 of those instead of 3 of those. And then we need our little yellow starburst centers. Making sure that you put the glue on the back side, not the front side. The front side has some variation in color. The back side does not. There we go. All right, and then we have this flower. Turn it just a little bit. Hold down. And then we have this one. There we go. And then we have this one. I guess I can do it there. Turn it. There we go. I don't know if it really, whoops, matters. It does matter if you're off center though. You don't want any air gaps in there. Okay, hang on. That got all wonky. Oh, wow. I pushed that baby down and that glue is not giving me much wiggle room. Here we go. All right, and then we have this one for a center. And then we have our 2 blue stars. Again, making sure you are putting glue on the back, not on the front, where there is a variation. of color. It's kind of darker in the center and then gets a little lighter toward the outside, almost as if it's faded, but it's not. There we go. There are our centers. All right, so let's put this baby together. Here we go. We're going to do our leaves first. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 leaves up top. And like that. And then we have 1, and I'm just going to see about sticking that underneath. There we go. And then we have 1 going the other way. And then we have these peaceful pine ones. 1 going this way. And 1 kind of leaning down in. All right, like that. And then on there goes this flower. Like that. Pretty. All right, so then we have this one in kind of the reverse. So we have this one going over here, like that. We have that one that I am again going to see if I can kind of shove under. Going like that. Then we have this one, which is partially off the page. Then we have one of these over here with that off the page. And then we have this one kind of over here like that. And then this one kind of over here. All right, I'm going to put the white ones on last just because there are so many more flowers. We're going to start with this one, which is over here off the page. Actually, it's a little higher off the page. And then this one over here is also off the page. Not off, but hanging off, and off of this center is what I'm really saying. Not off the page, but off this part. And then this one right here. So, I don't know, this one looks like it should be higher up, but they're stuck down now because that glue, it really worked. So I'm going to go back to the dimensionals. And this time use my take a pick tool for the back of these. So there should be one right here. And then, oh, that's a backing, not a dimensional. Here we go. Dimensional. Where else? We have one over here. Yeah, I definitely like these better with the dimensionals on them. I don't think, it doesn't say to put dimensionals on them, but I like the look better. Where's this one go? This one is supposed to be tucked in over here, but we're going to tuck one in over here. So I'm just changing up the location of these a little bit. just because my spacing isn't always the same as their spacing. And then we have one over here. And then we have one more that's supposed to be down here, but it's gonna kind of get covered up. Oh, no, I guess right there looks good. All right, so there is that one. What do you think? Let me know. So we have 3 different ones. They fit on the 3 different sizes of these. I only have this size right here. The others are still in a box because I gave my mom one and I gave my friend Missy one, and so I only have this one. But we have here our 3 different ones. So tell me, which one do you like better? All right, let me zoom out a little bit. So, do you like 1, 2, or 3? All right, see, this is kind of, I don't know, it actually works. These didn't need to be as curled up. That one kind of works well. So let me know which one you like better, 1, 2, or 3. I kind of like 3 the best, I think. I don't know. I like them all. I like the flowers on this one. I like this. I like all these 6 layers. I didn't think I was going to, but I do like this one with the 6 layers. So let me know which one you like better. This, because it's a non-stamping kit and it's just these 3 cards, this kit isn't very much. I think it's somewhere around $10 or so. It's not much at all. Considering what you get and the interchangeability of it. And of course, if you don't like the flowers, how they've got it arranged, you can rearrange them. I will take a picture of each one without the Wink of Stella, and then I will put Wink of Stella on all of them and show you what that looks like. But because we didn't do any stamping, there won't be any blending of the color due to the wet Wink of Stella. So this is definitely something to consider to take these up to the next level, and I'm going to do that after I take a picture of each of them, and then I will post those, and you can let me know, do you like it better with the Wink of Stella or without the Wink of Stella? So thank you so much for watching today. I truly appreciate it. I love to check out these new kits, and we have another really fun one next week. If you're into Halloween, I'll be doing a Ghouls Night Out local class using next week's kit, and then I'll be doing, if you're long distance from me and you can't come, we'll be doing a Ghouls Night In virtual craft party again, like we did last year. It won't be using this kit, but you are of course welcome to get the next kit. I'll just give you a hint. It's something you can wear or use as decor. The choice is yours. I'll be having mine on my head, trust me. So I will see you next week for another Check This Out Live for the next new kit from Stampin' Up! For August, in case you haven't figured out, it's a witch's hat. And then on Thursday night this week, I will see you for Junebug's Creative Crush. We'll do week 2 of the hot foiling system. I have some new ideas for you. And today, when I do the unboxing later this afternoon, you'll see some more dies and Christmas foils that I got too. Ooh, dangerous, I know. And then on Friday, we'll be back here at 3:33 in the afternoon for Paper Pumpkin Playdate, and we will do some more alternates. I trust that you got in on that 25% discount on the next kit. Mine is already shipping out today, so very excited, or not shipping out, billing today, and then should be shipping out before the end of the week. Woohoo! So when I get that, if I get it before next Friday, the 14th, then I'll crack it open. Otherwise, we'll do some more alternates. But this Hooray for Birthdays has been totally perfect for making some fun birthday cards. So I have some more for you this week. So I will see you Thursday at 7:13 p.m. for Junebug's Creative Crush, week 2 on the hot foil system. And then at 3:33 on Friday for Paper Pumpkin Playdate. If you are participating in my Sunshine and Scissors virtual craft party on Friday and Saturday. I trust you got your box. I'm sure you got your box. If not, please do reach out to me, and I will see you Friday after Paper Pumpkin Playdate for our virtual crafting party, where we're going to play and have fun and get projects done. Can't wait. See you all then. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back here this afternoon for the unboxing. I'll give you some notice before I do. I got to check and see what's going on with the family. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.